Welcome, everyone, to another BOLDcast live stream. We're back. Part 2.
So back. Never been more back.
Part 2 of ranking all of our reaction series. Welcome in. What up, Mac? What up, Brackfear? What up, Dark Shadow? What up, Frankie? What up, Ophesian? Rin19, Cut Digital, Imran Aziz, Aspid. Welcome in, everybody. Nekopito, Broboko. Yo, they're here. Hello. Muhammad. Mano. I don't know your name. I feel bad. Is it Suruno? You can read that. Come on.
No.
Is that Sue? I don't even know what that is. The
I
first
don't
one.
think so.
You don't? No, it's not. Bob, Mike, Joe.
Finally here, late as usual. But we did potentially make an improvement that will help with you guys being able to see what we're doing. So,
Yes, we have
it'll be worth
this. I should have made a hotkey for it. But, I mean, which one are we doing first? We'll start off this way.
What's a good one to start off with first? How about...
Just pick one.
Let's go with this one. This is just kind of silly.
Can we even rank this?
I think so.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
We've ranked other ones that we only did like an episode or two of.
Yeah, that's true. Shika Noko 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 Kosh Tan Tan.
Good, pretty ridiculous show. I feel like we had decent reactions to it. We didn't finish it.
What a fan are.
But most of the other things that
Baseball tomorrow. PA, sorry.
most other things that we didn't finish have gone relatively low, like in the F tier. Or we didn't finish Hell's Paradise, but that went in D tier. But like I feel like our reactions to what we did of this were not bad. You know,
we did 2 episodes.
We did 2 episodes. We're having fun.
Yeah, I guess we ranked Higurashi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is a case where it's not. We didn't stop watching for any particular reason. I think we went away. Like
yeah, we just got busy and it fell behind.
It wasn't just busy. Like we went away.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like we missed an episode and then when we came back, there was so many other things to catch up on that this one just kind of. It's the kind of thing that you probably don't really want to binge. Like, if we had been able to keep up just one a week, then it would have been like, oh, whatever, Saturday, we watch this show and it's funny. But then when you miss one, you're like, I don't care about that much to catch up on it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess C?
Yeah, I think C, because I think, like, we had an overall positive reaction to it. We laughed a lot. We thought it was really funny.
We just didn't finish it.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I think that's an appropriate spot for something like that.
Recto Informatica. Next one.
Next one, we could start getting into some
The Day I Became a God.
Jun Maeda series.
The Day I Became a God. I still gotta lean forward so much because this camera doesn't have a long lens. But yeah, The Day I Became a God. Classic BOLDcast banger. I think this could be in B or A. I think it's gonna be in B.
I think it can be in B because I think we had good reactions to it. I think that we had good discussions about it.
What up, Dan?
But I think that we did get really disappointed by how it turned out, and we're like not as enthusiastic in the last couple.
C or D tier. Again, we're not ranking the shows. The show would be lower. But I think our reaction to, we had good reaction, we thought it was funny. But actually, it's also, this is one of those weird things where if you look back on it now, the editing, I wasn't, like, not that there's a high skill ceiling or a low skill floor for editing reactions or anything, but, like, the audio, I think, was bad a lot of the times. I think C. I think C as well. Maybe, if we want to, we can go back and reorder, but, like, I think that's fine.
I think that's fair. Let's go
I feel like we had a decent reaction too.
I think we
liked
had a good
it.
reaction.
We thought it was funny.
You're talking about the reaction. Oh wow, okay.
Some of the episodes were better than others, so some of them had a better.
Some of it was really fun. Like I still remember some real highlights from that show.
Yeah, the mahjong and the ramen episodes were top tier.
Should we go the rest of Junmaida, or should we?
Let's just
sort of
space it out.
sprinkle them in? Let's go with Erased.
Erased. What's the full name of the show? The Japanese name? It's like, you hide my face so it grabs this. The full name of the show is something like Boku Daku ga Inai Machi is the full name. What do you think about this? I think this is one of our best. I think it could go in S tier pretty easily.
Yeah?
I think that, I had already seen it. But re-experiencing it, it was also one of my first seasonal anime that I watched. I should switch the camera back. Re-experiencing it as, like, in a reaction format, I think was a big deal. So I think I got a lot out of that, and I think that you got a lot out of it too.
Yeah. I liked it. I really, and I think that we did end up having some interesting I think it could go low S. I feel like we ended up having some interesting discussions, like especially about the ending and stuff, a little bit controversial maybe, but I do look fondly on that show. It was a good show. Let's switch it up with something with multiple seasons again, maybe. Should we do... trying to see one that I can see. This could be interesting. I know people have been waiting for this to see what we say about it. I don't know where the other one is for it.
For what?
For Jujutsu.
Jujutsu Kaisen. There isn't another one. Or no, you did.
I did one for Hidden Inventory separately because it was...
kind of a whole separate thing.
Yeah. Oh, right here.
Okay. Season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is where this will be difficult, because everyone has been asking about this, so it's good that we do this at the start of the stream. Because we didn't get to it last stream, everybody wanted us to. So this is Season 1 OG BOLDcast reaction to 2020 Jujutsu Kaisen.
S? No.
Or 2021.
Based on our reactions, this would be...
I think A.
A? Yeah, definitely.
I think A. We had a good reaction to the first season. I think the discussions were... Fucking Windows Update, I swear to God. The discussions were in that era where I think they were a little bit drawn out because you didn't have a lot to say about a lot of things, and I had some to say but stretched it out a bit much. There weren't uncuts for this?
No.
Oh.
This was like early on. And
I'm pretty sure there were uncuts for this. Pretty sure.
I can't remember.
Pretty sure there are uncuts for this. They should be. They might be deleted from... I think they exist. Maybe they got deleted and
And they're on Discord?
Oh no, we did talk about this, right. Oh, this might have been before we did that, yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. That was it, yeah, because I would need to go through and basically re-edit and watch everything over again to make sure that we didn't say anything we didn't want out there or something, because we weren't... Like, we record it now with the idea that, like...
And if anyone criticizes my way of life, I would kill everyone in their family.
God damn it. Prectos, what did you say? The thing was... The thing
we
was
need
too
this
small.
up there so we can see it better.
God damn it. Sorry. I can't... it's the same thing where I can't bring it up. We'll be able to see it from now on, but the preview is super small, so I wasn't able to see it. Thank you for the donation, though, Priectos.
Thank you. Repeat what you said just in the chat. So.
Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 1. I think that it was decent. I think that... Probably A.
I'd say, like...
A or... Low A
A
or B.
I just also feel like, yeah, maybe our reactions were not bad and we had decent discussions, but I feel like we missed so much of the show. You know?
Yeah.
Rewatching it, I was like, I didn't even really like it that much after the end.
Yeah. I think B.
Okay.
I think B, but where in B?
Upper B? Oh.
Not better than part 2.
Maybe
Not
like
better than
just right
Sakamoto. Not
there.
better, but yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, mid B. I'd say our reactions to are probably there.
Yeah.
However, post-rewatch BOLDcast, where we rewatched it, we rewatched the movie, we discussed everything at length, in depth, and lots of theories, and like paused for literally an hour, and reacted to one episode 5 times on stream. That BOLDcast headed now into this Hidden Inventory arc. This is just Hidden Inventory arc, and then we also have Season 2 separately. Mm-hmm. So just Hidden Inventory arc, I'd say this is among some of our best reactions. At least as far as I'm concerned.
I wonder if it's even better than Vinland Saga. Like, I didn't think anything could top that. But...
better than Vinland Saga. Season 2? Like, no.
You thought about JJK more than the author himself.
Yeah, that's actually, it was a funny experience with this, because, like, I think, in hindsight, I genuinely did read more into it than the series was actually there. But not really, because I think that, like, a lot of the things that the conclusions that I was drawing about how he was thinking about things, or how he was, how he was cooking up, or the reasons why he was stating things a certain way, was for certain potentialities in the story. But, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know where the story exactly goes, but, like, I think that I was maybe overcooking a little bit, but not really. Like, as far as what the actual story is, maybe. I don't know. We'll see where the story goes. But anyway, what I learned is that there were many things that I read into this story that I think were actually really good story ideas and writing things, and I figured I'll just use them for my own writing, whether they're in Jujutsu or not, whether I'm, because, like, eventually I'm just making up my own story.
I
go
like
so far off.
And then you just go so far to the side that you're actually just in a different story.
Yeah. Eventually I'm not interpreting their story. I'm inspired by their story and creating my own.
I don't even remember what Carson taking Lindsay's theory. What was that again? And then there was the receipt.
Spoilers. It was the brain surgery.
Oh.
These days among theories for Jujutsu, it's like about as low as it gets, because it's more of like it's like the first layer of a 6-layer cake. But for these, I'd say for Hidden Inventory, I put it comfortably right here.
Oh, okay.
I think
below Apothecary.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, like, I don't know.
I just think about, like,
Season 1.
investment. Like, I really liked Apothecary. I think that we're having good discussions and good reactions, and I think that they're really, really good and really high quality. But at that point, it had been so long since we had been invested in a show. You specifically being that invested in a show,
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, is, like, okay, maybe it's better than Apothecary. Is it better than Run with the Wind? Reactions-wise? I think so.
Yeah. It was different because we had emotional investment in that, but, that it depends, with something like good discussions, like, more, like, intense and, like, bombastic reactions than we usually have towards a show, versus, like, being on the verge of tears and, like, sobbing.
But that was just you.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
true.
That's what I mean. But, like, we were both really invested in Jujutsu, but I feel like I was the one really pulling that, whereas the opposite was true for Run with the Wind. So it depends. So, like, the logic works both ways. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I think it could be better than Run with the Wind. I think it's at least better than Apothecary.
Yeah. I don't think it's better than Vinland, and I don't think it's better than Promise Neverland.
Just because that was so fresh at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that probably third place currently, Hidden Inventory. But again, we're just talking about hidden inventory. We're not talking about everything.
Season 2.
So we'll put that. And then actually, I think Season 2, speaking of which, probably belongs there as well. However, those of you who maybe are watching now who weren't around at the time might not remember my mishap with the Maharaga fight. So I was overly critical of the Maharaga fight when it came out. And looking back at it, I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet, but I'm not counting the Blu-ray because, again, this is our reactions. This is not the series itself. And I know the Blu-ray made a lot of corrections. But if you think about the TV release, everyone was hating on it. That's not what I got from that. I was overly hating on it. If you watch the original reaction, I was super tired and just going into it with the wrong mindset.
You went into it as thinking that it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And then it was somewhat bad.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Well, it wasn't somewhat bad. It was like super unfinished and notably unfinished. Everyone said it was unfinished. And it was visibly like and also we weren't watching with headphones, so I didn't get the music and like as much. Like it was, I don't know. It just did not hit for me on the first watch. So then that night after posting it and talking in the comments, I rewatched it and had a change of heart because I was able to get in the vibe a lot more. Once I got in the vibe a lot more, then it was better, but it was still not, I don't think I was seeing what everyone else was seeing in that fight. But yeah, on rewatch, it's great. Yeah, that too. Hard to track on first watch. It's not just hard to track. It's like there was, yeah, hard to track. Sure, but it was hard to track. It felt like not in an intentional way. It was like there was plenty of things that were like straight up, like there, the Malevolent Shrine was like uncolored, and it didn't seem like that was an artistic choice, at least on first glance. I don't know if they colored in the Blu-ray, but it looked like unfinished the way that anyway. That's the other thing is whenever criticizing, I know we're talking about reactions, but just to talk about the show for a second. Whenever we or anyone who is like charitable and competently criticizing something constructively is doing it, you need to recognize, I'll just speak for us actually, at least for myself. When I shit on something, I'm not just, it's not like I'm saying the animators are bad at their jobs. That's not the point of the discussion. The point of the discussion is the product that I received was not up to the expectations that were set by the production previously. So it's not a question of talent or skill or what have you. It's a question of, I'm getting a product, and that's what's being judged. The people who work on these shows are infinitely more skilled than I am in their field. Like it would be disrespectful for me to say that I could have done it better. That's not the point of the discussion. The point of the discussion did it deliver? That's what it's being judged on. Because most of the time, it's not even about skill. It's usually about they weren't paid right, or the production committee overestimated what could get done in a certain time, so this suffered, and they didn't think of that, or they didn't care. But they were doing that because they needed this or that or whatever. Anyway. Patreon exclusive OP reactions? No. We're mostly doing the shows, I think. Anyway.
Not bothering to do OPs because that we would need
we might do another one of these.
Another one for OPs maybe.
Anyway, to close that out, it's when criticizing something, at least as far as I see it, it's not about saying that the people who did this are bad or the director is bad. It's usually about, you give them the benefit of the doubt. If you say something was directed poorly, I'm not actually judging the quality, or I'm not judging, it's not saying director is a skill issue or something like that. That's not the point. The point usually is, even if they did a bad job on directing something, there's usually a reason or some way to explain it. It's rarely just they didn't give a fuck and they phoned it in. Usually if they did, they were forced to, or they had to cut corners, or there's always an excuse or a reason behind it. So anyway, I guess that's a side note, but as far as I was getting to that is, you guys might think that our reactions to this were like incredible, but I how does that factor in? How do we factor in the Maharaga fight? Is it better that I did a second reaction to it? Does that make it a better series of videos? I think it might. It adds more drama, certainly. But it might detract from it because I wasn't getting the vibe that everyone else seemed to at that time. Everyone says now the Maharaga fight was terrible, but at the time we went from 99% like ratio to 70%, and everyone was freaking the fuck out because I said that the Maharaga fight was bad. And also I was in a bad mood.
You were in a bad mood, and
so I wasn't even.
I think that might have been it. Like, I think if you went in really excited and then were disappointed by the fight, I think that people, and you still said the same things but maybe in a different way, people might have had a different reaction to that, But I think since you went in with the negative attitude, then it made people like come back with like even more of a negative attitude,
Yeah, pretty much, Mac. Yeah, so I don't know, what do you think? Because the umbrella theory, I think this is probably S tier. And I think it's better than Hidden Inventory.
Really?
It might be better than Promised Neverland as far as videos. It might be better than Vinland Saga. Because of our theories and discussions and how much of an event, like this was an event.
Yeah,
like this was probably the most, it felt like we were, we obviously weren't in terms of views, but it really did feel like we were at the center of the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom at that point. It felt like the way that, just the sort of response that we got to the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 reactions, it was like, it really felt like we were really like on the tip of the spear is what it felt like. I know we weren't, again, because there were plenty of people with more views than us, but it really felt like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did feel like
it felt like we were part of something special.
It felt like we were like further than our channel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like a lot of
we had transcended a little bit.
Yeah, and previously, like the times that we would sort of like transcend out of our channel would be for like a really big OP reaction.
Yeah,
or something like it would.
But it was like every week people were looking forward to BOLDcast.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen discussions.
Yeah, I would say that if you want to put it near the top, I would do that.
No, show the product placement. Yeah, I think so. I think that putting it at the top, it feels fair to me, at least.
Yeah. Promised Neverland didn't want to go.
Yeah. Sour Grapes, Promised Neverland. I think that's current top of the top. Oh, I didn't peel the thing off.
You guys were my most anticipated reactor each week, and I was following like 8 at the time. It did, like...
That's what it felt like.
It did feel like a lot of people were like really excited about our videos. And obviously people are excited about our videos all the time. But like it felt like more people that
it really did like transcend just people who were keeping up with us, and like we were a part of a greater discussion. Like it felt like we were really at a voice at the table of Jujutsu Kaisen, even though obviously everybody was reading the manga and knew everything that was going to happen. It felt that way. It felt like people, like anime-only people, came to us on some capacity because they wanted to theorize, but they didn't want to read the manga and be fully spoiled.
Yeah.
Although we did literally spoil everyone who inadvertently who watched those reactions. But anyway, I feel like I'm comfortable with that. Let me line these up. But Hidden Inventory is what got me in the gym, got me back in the gym. That Hidden Inventory is the reason why I started going to the gym. I remember I saw Toji and I was like, he's literally me.
I don't know if you guys remember the Halloween after Jujutsu, and Carson was wearing like a fake like muscle suit to be Toji.
I still have it, the fake muscles in there, but and since then I've been going to the gym consistently I took a break last summer for it was like 2 or 3 months. I just didn't even go to the gym, but then I got back into it. And I've been going since then.
Yeah, hold on. Why is Apothecary above Run with the Wind here?
Oh yeah, true.
I think it just got put back wrong. It's not actually there.
Yeah, no, I did put it back.
There are things that I think might surpass Run with the Wind, but not Apothecary. It's not one of them.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go with another single one. Our favorite.
One of the best series we've ever reacted to.
Clears Jujutsu and Vinland Saga obviously as our best reactions.
Absolutely.
We loved the show. We had no problems with the show.
This is Rascal Dreams of Bunny Girl Senpai.
No, Rascal does not dream.
Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Yeah. So.
Straight to F.
Is it an F? It might be.
The movie
is
an F.
an
I
F.
didn't include the movie.
The movie is an F. Because it fell so flat. It felt like they built up that fucking girl who looks like his girlfriend for the whole show. And then when we actually got to her, it was like, what the fuck is even happening? Like,
and like at
literally
the end,
how and why at the same time.
It was supposed to be like this super emotional moment, and we just
an S for that flower. And she like spends all this time. She's like, is the source of all of her stress, and then she finally completes the school assignment, and then
he just draws like a gigant, and we got told later that like, you know, a flower was like would be like a good, so this would be like a really good thing, but we didn't understand it. So like it's like she just completes this thing, and then it's just like draws a giant flower over, and we like. It was so, like people. I'm sure other people were crying at that moment.
If I watched this when I was 14, I might have cried. But I watched it when I was a mid-20s man. And like, I am not gonna cry over these fucking anime girls. I'm sorry. Like, I just, you know, I'll cry over Clannad, but it's because there's real-life tragedy and, like, really sad shit, and it's actually funny. This one was just power fantasy, fucking harem. Like, it's just that, but dressed up with pseudo-intellectual nonsense to make people let down their guard and feel like they're not that dumb when they watch it. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Not a fan. I don't think that it's F tier, though. At least the show. Maybe...
The show reactions, I hated this fucking show. I struggled to complete, this is one of those ones that I struggled to complete editing because we were going our way through and I was like, it's fine. But having to rewatch it in editing, I was like, it pains me to watch it and edit because we had no reaction the whole time, pretty much the entire time. And we had nothing to say about it. We were just kind of regurgitating what the show said and like, doing the thing where I don't really have a lot to say, but I feel like I need to say something, so I'm making things out of the show. I'm, like, going on tangents inspired by the show. So I think this is F.
Okay.
I think this is F.
Yeah.
Pretty solid F. I don't, like, I remember, like, that's also why the reactions at the time took longer to come out. These days, it's a walk in the park compared to the amount that we post shit, but... yeah, it was just, I just couldn't, it was difficult to make my way through it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Should we go for Konosuba? Season 1. We started at episode 8 because we had started to watch it, just on our own time, and then we were like, oh, we should actually react to this.
Yes. So yeah, Konosuba Season 1, mostly the end of it. What do you guys think? I actually don't even remember our reactions to this that much. I remember we were kind of fatigued by it because we weren't used to the sub, because we were watching the dub in our free time. And then
did we like Season 2 better?
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this reaction, Season 2. We liked it a lot more. I remember like walking away from that episode being like, this show's funny.
Yeah.
You know?
maybe C tier for season 1, because I don't think it was, like, bad, necessarily. I don't remember it as being bad. Maybe other people remember it as being bad. Thought your reaction was fine, nothing special, maybe B. B.
I feel like C is more appropriate.
I feel like C, maybe B for season 2.
Yeah.
Because I do remember season 1 just being kind of like, eh. And then, because we watched the movie, and then we loved the movie.
Yeah. Season 1, solid B. B, I think B is too high. I feel like, honestly, just right there. Sure.
I think C makes more sense, because with a show like this, the discussions are not going to be that crazy. So the reaction, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whereas some of these shows, maybe we had a better reaction to this, but our discussions, like, were nothing even compared to these.
Yeah.
And then I did do this.
Season 2 is in B, I'll say.
But this was season 3, but we only watched these first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But I remember really liking it, but we didn't end up keeping up with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to put that, really.
I need to figure out this whole fucking thing with the...
Yeah, maybe
Put what?
Maybe put that down there.
The chat?
Yeah. If you can read it from there.
It's just harder to read it. That's why I don't like it down there. But I don't want to move the preview down there because then we can't see if people donate. I guess that's better.
Yeah.
That's better. I still just gotta click it away every single time. Sure.
There's no discussions, just laughs. Yeah.
Yeah, for season 3? Season 3, I feel like probably B as well.
I feel like we had a good reaction, but we didn't finish it. But I don't think that because we did, like, what we have of it, I think was pretty good.
Sure. I can agree with that. Sure.
And now... what you've all been waiting for.
The show. I'm so glad we didn't do season 2.
That would have been a waste
like,
of our
it
time.
wouldn't even have been nostalgic because they changed the style so much for Tower of God. And, by the way, is this the one? This is the one where Lindsay, I don't even know if you can see, one of the first big thumbnail disputes. If you look at my face in my head, this is the second version. The original version, she gave me like a weird fucking pinhead and like just fucked my shit up so bad. So I like I'm like, you made me look ugly as shit. What are you doing? So I made her redo it, but yeah. So Tower of God. I think this could I don't know. The videos are pretty bad. E? Why?
Wait, what
why
were you
E?
thinking? Like, I feel like it was bad.
Why? Explain why. Go through your thought. This is where you see we're on a live stream right now, and
Yeah.
what you do is you talk about
But
what you think.
realistically, F.
What you do is you talk about what you think. So I'm asking you to
feel
explain your
like-
thought
okay,
process
here's
to
the
the
thing.
live stream.
I feel like Tower of God... I feel like this was one of our earlier ones. We didn't really know what to make of it. There was periods where, like, sometimes we were kind of into it, but then a lot of the times we were just like, you know, like,
Yeah.
what's the fucking point of this? And we were kind of annoyed. People didn't really like our reactions, even at the time. It seemed like everyone was like, no, you just don't get it. You guys just don't get it. You don't get the fucking tower or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like we were just constantly at kind of... like, no one was like really like hating. It was just like we were out of the loop. I felt like we were behind. I felt like it was like you didn't really know like what people even wanted from the reaction. And then like the whatever episode 11 or episode 12 or whatever
it is, yeah.
the big episode. Like I feel like we had a good reaction to that. And like that's when it was kind of just like okay, but then the end of the show was still just kind of like nothing.
Yeah.
So you know?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't hate it. It wasn't, like, I don't feel, like, super negatively against it, but, like, I don't think that we really, like, contributed much to the conversation of the show.
Yeah.
You know, like we were just talking about Jujutsu, it felt like everyone actually was interested to hear what we were saying, and we weren't just saying the same thing as everyone else. We were offering out something maybe not necessarily new, but, you know, our own opinion. It was fresh and exciting for us. Whereas this one, it felt like anytime we would, like, say anything, we would just kind of, like, it just felt kind of meaningless.
Well, yeah, but again, like, exactly like Rujong says, is just because we're negative about it doesn't mean it's a bad reaction.
Yeah.
So us criticizing it rightfully, or asking why any of this matters, or saying that we're bored and reviewing it honestly, does that actually make it a bad video? Yeah. I don't think it does. What makes things F or E is like giving nothing and having nothing to give. Like, not just, it wasn't funny and I didn't like it, so here's my review, and I'm sorry it wasn't what you guys wanted. Give it, like fucking most of One Punch Man, where it's just like, the vibes just aren't there. I feel like it's maybe a step above that. I'd say D is more appropriate. Yeah. Low D. It might be the lowest D, but there were times, you know, where we had decent reactions, I think, depending on the episode, depending on the situation. Most of the time, it was kind of meh, but I feel like it wasn't as bad as some other things.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's fair.
And the only reason it would be above Stardust Crusaders, Part 3 of JoJo, is because, like, there's a few things in JoJo Part 3 that I think we had good reactions, that you maybe had a good reaction to. There were fun moments. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's just the volume of bad videos.
Yeah.
You know? That's what really puts JoJo down there. It might be a mid-D if you know, if it was just shorter, but had the same amount of things. Mm-hmm. Next one.
Yeah. You want to pick one?
No.
I'm trying to go kind of like old, new, good, bad, like trying to spice it up a bit. Maybe let's do this one. Spy Family.
Spy Famu.
Season 1, because we didn't do Season 2.
Season 1 of Spy Famu. Didn't we try?
I think that we actually...
We tried Core 2.
We tried to finish Season 1 in anticipation for Season 2, but didn't make it through. Yeah. And gave up.
Yeah.
This one is interesting because...
It started off really strong.
It started off really strong. I feel like we had great reactions to, like, maybe the first, like, 10-ish?
Yeah.
And then after that, then it just became, like, it was like, I had to force myself to watch the show, you know? Because it just became...
I feel like you didn't even feel like that.
I felt...
That was me. That was just what I said. I was bored as shit, and I said, I don't care about this. Like...
I guess okay, here's the thing. At the time, I feel like I was like, oh, you know, this is like mid, but I can keep with it. After seeing way more like better things and like finding joy and stuff like Blue Lock, and especially after seeing Sakamoto Days, I'm kind of just like, you know, especially in.
But again, we're talking about the videos. We're not talking about.
But I feel
what
like
we think of the show.
I feel like also we didn't end up posting our like when we watched the episodes that we really didn't like at the end when we tried to rewatch it. Or when we tried to, like, keep back up. So, I don't think that we did we?
We did.
Oh.
We did. I'm pretty sure.
Like mid, even low. But here's the thing. We really liked the first bit of it, so I don't think that it would be that low on our reactions.
Yeah, I feel like the videos themselves, I don't think were that bad. We were having a decent time with it. It just that, like, it's the same thing. Yeah, it gets old, and then we miss one, and then we're like, okay, we got to catch up, and then it's like, how much? I don't care. Like, what's gonna happen? And then it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
I think it belongs in C.
I think it could belong in C because it's similar to this, where we had really, really good reactions in the first half. And then in the second half, it just got kind of disappointed.
E is fine. Why E? I don't think the videos were that bad.
No.
We haven't done Tokyo Revengers yet.
I don't think that our reactions were bad.
No, I think we had good reactions. Yeah.
C is fair. It's honestly not that bad.
Yeah, I think right there.
Yeah. It had some good and some bad. C is a really, like, mixed tier. Like, it has things that are in there for lots of different reasons, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe... This is the one that we have the most of. Let's go with Season 1 of Demon Slayer.
Season 1 of Demon Slayer. Okay, how do we want to do this though? Because we posted like timers on YouTube for most of it, and then we didn't like one of the best episodes of all time in anime, or we didn't really care for it that much. At least I kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Or we just, or at least it was like it was good, but like not nearly what everyone thought.
Yeah, we kind of set ourselves up for failure in every possible way. And
how?
Well, no, just like with the whole like timer thing, we were doing headphones, we were trying something new.
Yeah. This was, by the way, the reason we did that is because we were on the heels of
Tower of God.
Tower of God, that, we got a strike from Tower of God, the final episode, and then we were afraid of strikes. So then we were like, oh, Demon Slayer's, like, a bunch of people at the time were just got a wave of strikes for Demon Slayer. So we were like, fuck that. Instead of waiting, we'll just start and then do timers.
Anyone criticizes my way of life, I would kill everyone in their family.
Cook, so for frick's sake, we need to make that longer.
Thank you for the donation. Somebody say what you said in the chat, because I can't. This is fucking annoying. Maybe how about this? I don't even know if it'll there.
Oh, that would be better. Then we can actually read it.
Yeah. So Demon Slayer Season 1. How do we want to do it?
It's pretty bad. Especially when you consider like the timer videos.
It's a D. Season 1 is a D tier.
Yeah.
Season 1 is better than Tower of God. I'd say, not better than Hell's Paradise. Because Hell's Paradise had good react, even though we dropped Hell's Paradise.
We went into it with a great attitude.
Demon Slayer. E, everybody's saying. E.
I almost would have said E. Well, here's the thing. I would say it was D, but the way that we release the videos, I think, demotes it.
That makes
to
it
an
worse.
E. Personally, I would think E.
But then why isn't Tower of God an E?
I'm saying, like, what could bring it down is the fact that we...
Yeah, right, the videos...
The actual...
Yeah, it could bring it down.
Not anything to do with us, necessarily.
Yeah.
But.
Can you put them, like, better? Yeah. I don't know why you're half-assing, because I gotta move them every single time. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but that's not, I think that other Demons... honestly, if next Demon Slayer that comes out, I'm gonna be excited. I'm into it now. I feel like if we were to watch it for the first time now, I would like it a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, way more. I might love it now. Season 2. This is also kind of a difficult one, because this is like this is apparently the best part of Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
And
we really liked it.
It was back and forth. I think you know what? I did really like it. I think that I just didn't enjoy it the way everybody wanted me to. That's how I feel about it. Like, I would make fun of things and call things dumb, and then people would be like, it's not dumb, it's fucking awesome. Like, it's kind of the same old story. But that doesn't mean I'm wrong. In fact, that means they're wrong.
I think that we had good reactions to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I think
especially, and I think part of what helped is that that we went and we saw the movie in the theater. We didn't react to it.
Yeah, right.
Which I think ended up being for the best because of our situation with Season 1. We were like, should we react to the movie or should we just watch it? And we watched it by ourselves, and I feel like that kind of hyped us up a bit and put us in a good place for this.
I feel like this is better than Ranking of Kings, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's better. I don't think it's better than Horimiya. I don't think our reactions are better than Oshinoko. But I feel like we had good reactions to season 2. I think we enjoyed it, and we had I remember being really excited. I just didn't react the exact way that other people wanted me to, and that's kind of.
Didn't have this super I wasn't.
At times I did. At times I was very excited and got really animated.
I felt like I wasn't so emotionally invested, but I was significantly more emotionally invested than season 1. Mm-hmm. And this is season 3.
Oh,
that's season 4.
Season 3.
Honestly, I don't remember season 3.
You don't remember season 3? How dare you? Season 3 was the hot spring one, right? Or the Swordsmith Village?
Oh, right. Actually, yeah. Okay, now
I really liked season 3. I remember saying that the experience of watching it, or at least the experience of reacting to it, was better than season 2. Everyone, it should have been a movie, don't get me wrong. Most of Demon Slayer seems should just fit into a movie format. They keep trying to make it a movie anyway.
Because I hate when anime do movies, but Demon Slayer should have just been a movie series.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
You went less critical?
Yeah, I went into it way less critical. I just was you know what, fuck it. Nobody literally, as far as Demon Slayer fans go, not a singular person wants to hear a singular thing that is remotely negative. Ever. Yeah. That they do not want to hear a singular negative thing, even if it's a little bit negative and even if you have a point. Ever. And, there's varying degrees of that in different fandoms. And you're usually, obviously, better off if you're reviewing something to just give it a positive review. People are more happy about that. So, it's true for everything. But Demon Slayer, I found in particular, people do not give a fuck about you if you have anything less than perfect to say. Jujutsu fans are almost as bad, but not all of them are. Because I feel like the big difference is that Jujutsu's anime is a lot more flawed than Demon Slayer's anime. Mm. Demon Slayer's anime is damn near perfect production. It's there's a few cracks if you really look for them, and in this season the fucking CGI fish, some people that weren't a fan of that. I didn't think it was bad. It just seemed you could be forgiven for not liking it. But Jujutsu's anime has a lot of problems, and Demon Slayer's doesn't. So if people like the story, if people are hyped up by everything, if they like the production and the action, there's a lot less easy things to complain about. So Jujutsu people probably have the same rabies level, but if you call out that the Maharaga fight was super unfinished, most people will have that rabid kind of insanity and get pissed off at you. But because it's an actual genuine flaw, there's some things that can't be ignored, mm-hmm. and they kind of have to recognize it. But with Demon Slayer, they don't have to. And Demon Slayer fans, I think, are also they do trend a little bit younger, even than Jujutsu fans, which are already, I think, mostly young people. I feel like with but
I
loved this season.
The 3-minute Muzan walk.
Was that this season?
I thought that was season 4, but
that was season 4. That was season 4.
Okay.
That was season 4. That was the last thing we saw was the Muzan walk. So yeah, I think for this, honestly, the reactions might even be better than season 2. The videos themselves might be better than season 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't feel bad putting it there. I think I would be surprised if the me who started the channel were seeing me put this here. I would be surprised because I don't think I would. I never thought that I would actually really enjoy it. But yeah, I'd say as far as our videos go.
Yeah. We went into it with the right attitude.
Yeah, 100%.
And stopped caring so much. Now, season 4. I don't know. I don't think our reactions were horrible. But the season itself didn't give us a lot to work with. Muzan getting his steps in, that's still one of the best titles
ever.
It was so fucking
Season 4
funny.
Could have been an email. That's actually perfect. Yeah, I don't know. As far as the show itself,
we had fun with it.
We had fun with it, yeah. But there were a lot of things that were like, all right, you know.
It's like, okay, wrap it up.
Yeah. It could have been half the episodes, I think. And still been good and snappy and, like, action-packed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a training arc. How you're going to make a movie about a training arc? You either skip it or make it OVA. Like, there's no good way to get through it with this format of seasons that they had planned out.
Mm-hmm.
If they had made this the second half of season 3 and made it, like, extra long or something, or was this a full? This was, like, one core. Yeah. And season 3 was one core. If they made it 2 cores of season 3, I don't think people would rank that, would think as ill of this. But, you know, they put it as its own season up to its own climax. That's the problem. But as far as our videos, I feel like it's not as... Our reactions probably weren't as good as the rest of them. I'd say worse than Part 4, worse than Oshinoko, worse than Jujutsu... Season 1, I think, actually. Better than God of High School. Yeah, I'd put it just below Jujutsu Season 1. Sorry, I need to switch the camera. I put it right here in B tier. Mid B tier. Oh. It's right there by your foot. Right there.
Yeah. Not our worst, not our best. I think we made the best of a rough thing to react to.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah. Demon Slayer. Getting a lot of the, like, classic, or, like, you know, different shows that we watched. Let's wrap this up with a F tier. Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2.
Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. That's an easy F. This show was shaping up to be terrible. Different production. Different vibe entirely. The self-awareness that the first season had and the, like, wit to it was completely fucking gone. It was just an unironic reverse isekai. Season 1, one of my... especially the dub, one of my favorite comedy series. So fucking funny. Season 2 was fucking trash. F tier. Yeah. Videos from us. As far as our reaction, F tier. Now, where in F tier? Yeah, it's got to be bottom.
It's got to be better. Nothing can be worse than this.
Not worse than Noble. You can't really see. There's
Oh. Yeah. If you can't see it, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Horimiya Peace, Bunny Girl, Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2, Noblesse, and Higurashi,
the
When
sequel.
We Cry.
Yeah, When We Cry. Let's put that shirt there. Or we gotta move this up a little bit.
Someone who's mentioning Blue Lock.
Do you guys even hear the music? We hear the music, but...
So I guess we might as well go for Blue Lock.
Sure, let's do Blue Lock.
That's Season 2. And where is Season... Oh, here's Season 1.
Blue Lock Season 1. I feel like... this is a genuinely hard one, I think. This is a genuinely difficult one.
I never... Like, with
Are
this...
you guys have to be joking about the S tier, right? Really solid A? Everyone's saying A or S. We're talking about Season 1.
Yeah, we have Season 2 separately.
Easy C tier. Remember being solid A? I guess it depends on if you love Blue Lock.
If you wanted to watch
it went back and forth,
hate
yeah.
on Blue Lock.
Well, it went back and forth. It was like, it would have a good moment and then 2 or 3 episodes of shit, especially the first, like, it feels like really towards the end of Season 1 they actually found their footing and the show started to actually know what it wanted to do. But early on, it was like, it was literally the most writing by numbers thing, and it was hard not to focus on that. Mm-hmm.
It was also hard, like, yeah, when there would be stuff, like, there would be, like, whatever, something with Shigiri, and we'd be, like, super invested.
Yeah.
And then there would just be something that you're just like, okay. Like...
Yeah, this is a reaction thing, not about the show.
We gotta separate the show from the reactions hard on this one.
You shit talking Season 1 made me like the show. Maybe mercenary reaction and remembering the good parts. There was no animation hype, Mac. There was no animation hype. That was part of the discussion, is that this was a series about
a PowerPoint
movement.
Presentation.
This is a series about movement and using your body and teamwork and you don't know where people are, and people move 3 frames and then slide across the screen. And there it is, all the animation that was like actually fluid was CG for graphics, or people doing this, or 15 people doing the same running animation across a field that is like 15 football fields wide, so that you can't tell exactly where they are, so that there's not like a writing discrepancy, because the manga was very zoomed in on people's eyes, zoomed in on their bodies, not really giving you a lot of spatial awareness. So the anime didn't have a lot to work with, or at least the director didn't want to, or didn't try, or wasn't paid enough, or whatever. The direction did not, like we're talking about Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, perfect example. It's decent art, but the Demon Slayer's manga is not why it's popular. It's popular because the production elevated it. That's what a production is supposed to do. Blue Lock did not get that treatment, but it still had something. Power fantasy, wish fulfillment, self-insert, all that type of stuff that you guys want, that a lot of people want, that all of you out there, all you fucking plebeians out there want. Anyway, it had something that people were attracted to. That's what they wanted, and then there were a couple badass or a farmy ass moments.
Are videos watching it? Like, here's the thing, because I
think it might be.
I was always like mid on this show. This was at a point where we were trying to. Like, it had been a long time since something like ReZero Season 2, but I remember when we were watching Blue Lock, we were trying to be like, let's have a good attitude.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a couple points where you were getting like, just like...
Yeah, it got on my nerves.
You were getting annoyed, and I was like... Let's just not get annoyed, and I do remember having fun with it. Like, I remember, like... just roasting Ego and his whole, like, fucking, he blows the entire budget to have, like, a crazy, like, presentation about, like, nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was, in a way, it was, like, season 1, we didn't have as much fun with it, but we also kind of had a lot of fun with it, because when we were roasting it, it was just because it was so over the top that it was, you know what I mean? Like, it was just crazy. I think some people got mad that we were, like, laughing at it so much, but that was just the way that we could enjoy the show the best.
Mm-hmm. So where? Low B or high C, or where?
I mean, good with either low B or high C.
I was thinking maybe in front of or behind Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe even above God of High School, because we finished it and we ended up liking it in the end, and we had things to say about it. But like Meme says, we don't have a lot of football knowledge, but like we said in the show, the fucking show doesn't care about your football knowledge. It'll make passing references to nutmegs or fucking random maneuvers, but it doesn't take into account actual playing of the game until some points in Season 2. In fact, they dumb the entire sport down even past our level of knowledge, because they're putting a bunch of strikers on and different positions and basically going against their fucking premise. So it doesn't, as far as us not knowing football terminology, that does not matter for Blue Lock. And it's a real shame, because I feel like the show would be a lot better if it actually cared about the sport that it was portraying. I think probably there. I would put it there, but this is kind of...
It can go there. Someone's going to need to go there at some point.
For now, we'll do this.
Yeah.
I wish you'd done a better job of putting all these down in the proper place. I think there's a solid place for it. We completed it. We ended up liking it. We had a lot to say about it, good and bad. And, that's the only reason why Boruto's in D, is for those reasons. But we actually ended up liking the show towards the end. On some level. It's not my favorite thing ever, but, like, I can watch it. It's good.
And now we have Season 2.
Season 2 of Blue Lock.
I feel like learning to like it in Season 1 and then being able to come into Season 2 knowing exactly the kind of fucking show that this is.
Yeah.
Like, it allowed us to just have fun with it We still made fun of how ridiculous some things were. Like, what was that guy's name when he gets like brought in on like the dolly and like he's like in a straitjacket?
Yeah, he's like Hannibal Lecter for no fucking reason.
It's just like that is so unnecessary, but it is so funny.
Cheeto, yeah.
Like that, and then like the whole like the entire game. Where the captain on the other team is like, I'm a dog and I'm gonna get you or whatever. Like,
yeah, like so fucking like, pause moment. Like
it was so funny.
So where? So where then? A or S? I think A feels more appropriate.
I think A feels more appropriate because like I almost want to put
bottom
it in
B.
S.
What? I don't think it's not that bad. We liked it, and we're not talking about the fucking show. We're talking about our videos. I think that like we were actually a lot easier on this show. Like it was actually that was actually a funny thing about our reactions to this is that we were watching the first 2 episodes, just watching it, posting it. Then we go and see the conversation, and everyone is freaking the fuck out. And
yeah,
it was
they're
like
hating on it, and we're like, this is a step up.
It wasn't a step up, but it was just the same. There were like spreads where they would otherwise show the same like puzzle pieces flying, and they cooled it on that because they made a bunch of puzzle pieces fly every scene of season 1, and it got super old. And then the spreads that they would do in the first few episodes of season 2. To us, we're like, okay, there's big spreads of color. Yes, it's pausing on the action, but that's what they were already doing. People were overreacting to the animation in season 2. Not that it was good. It was bad for most of the time, except for the very end. It was bad, don't get me wrong. Animation season 2 was bad. But all of Blue Lock's animation has always been bad. It's always been poorly directed. It's always been the most cookie cutter shit. The only thing that saved it was the aura that people got from the characters. That's the only reason people liked it. But it's like they were straddling the fucking razor's edge of people realizing that it's poorly made and people not realizing that it's poorly made. It's like they were just doing the bare minimum, and then they slipped a little bit too far because they thought they could get away with it because they did the bare minimum in season 1. They thought they could get away with it, so then they were like, we're cutting the budget and cutting the time, fuck you. But nobody will notice. And then everybody noticed, but it wasn't 50% worse. It was like 5 to 10% worse. And you can say PowerPoint fucking presentation, you can say the literal PowerPoint like transitions that they used. Guys, half of the show was already Ego's PowerPoint presentations. You were already watching. The show was about PowerPoint presentations. It was literally they already were putting more effort into the PowerPoint presentations from the manager than they were into the fucking animation of the conflict. They already were doing that. They did it for all of season 1. So all this shit, it was people were really hyped up about the big arc that was happening in season 2, and they were worried that it wasn't going to get animated properly. That's what they were really freaking out about. In reality, all of the talk of direction, of editing, all that stuff, none of the people who were complaining about that had ever wasted a brain cell on any of those conversations before this. I can guarantee you, because the perspective that everyone was taking towards, shitting on Blue Lock Season 2, which justifiably, it was not like it was great, but the perspective they were taking was one of complete ignorance and just I want it better. Cook it the way that I want to. That's all it was. People just like the hot characters? True. So where do we put this?
I feel like
our reactions are better than Season 1, first of all.
Yeah. I can't decide, I feel like it should be towards the top. I don't think it's better than anything that's in S.
I think it's over here. I think it's right there.
You think that it's
I think we had a better reaction. Yeah, I think we had better reactions to both of those seasons of Demon Slayer and Horimiya and Oshinoko. Like, if you look at, but I think our reactions are better than Ranking of Kings.
Just put it in S.
Reaction-wise, it was S. It was insanely funny.
I feel like it was super funny. I feel like
really,
you
guys
really
think
funny.
It's better than that?
I feel like it might have been there.
Really? Okay. Sure.
I feel like it was. I
yeah,
feel
it's not S tier. Comparing, like, thinking about all the other shows that are in our S tier, I don't think so. But I think everyone is remembering our season 2 reactions less than they were. I think we had about as good reactions, if not better reactions, to season 2. I was freaking out at some points. I think Oshinoko was probably better. I think we had way better discussions.
Yeah.
I think ReZero was just all around. Season 1 was better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I think that this deserves to be there because
everyone's
feel like
saying the reactions are S. I don't think they were S. Like, if I'm thinking about the other things in S, I don't think it was nearly as good as our erased reactions.
Yeah.
But maybe that's been too long. I don't think it's as good as Apothecary Diaries or Dawn to Dawn reactions or.
I think that they were really good. I don't know if they were the best. I think that they were good though. I think that we had a lot of fun with it. Agree with where it is now.
When Shido went wild, your reactions were great. Okay, well, I feel like putting it any higher. It's not that maybe it wouldn't deserve that if that's what you guys think. It's just that I don't think that I don't think the videos are better than the other ones that are above it. I think that's as high as it can go. Anyway, okay, next. Why'd you print this one?
Because we kind of did. I didn't know if I was gonna ask if you wanted to do it or not. Because
we haven't finished this. We started watching it in what the fuck? Come on. We started watching Evangelion before we left our old place in like October 2021, right before we moved. It was like such an awkward time, but we really wanted to watch it, and we still haven't finished it. So I don't even know if we can rank this. And because it was only Patreon, it was Patreon only other than the OP. We're not going to rank this.
We did post the discussions on YouTube.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess.
That doesn't count. Why were we ranking our discussions then?
Yeah, I guess not. But hopefully we'll finish that one day. And we may post it to YouTube one day, depending. We could do...
I'm sorry, Bon Bon. I want to. We got to finish the last 3 episodes of Baccano still, and we're also just behind on everything. Mm-hmm. We're just constantly behind on everything.
This season has so many shows that we've been trying to check out.
I don't know why, because they get 1,000 views, but anyway.
Squid Game.
F tier. Did not finish on YouTube. Shouldn't have finished watching. Terrible fucking show. Terrible videos. This goes to F tier. Right about there.
Yeah.
Ass.
Had a couple of rough ones. Let's go for something fun.
Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly
I
Delusion.
think that this show,
hopefully it gets a season 2.
This show, I feel like, is the closest that we've gotten. Like, if you guys watched our last stream, we talked about the feeling that we got when we watched Promised Neverland. And how it was just so fresh. There was like a mystery. We were just intrigued. We wanted to watch more. We wanted to figure it out. I feel like this show is the closest that we have gotten to that feeling. Recently. Do you agree?
Think so?
I feel like it just caught me off guard. People were like, "Oh, watch this show, watch this show." We were like, "Okay, we'll watch the show," and then it ended up being great. Like, yeah. I felt so invested. I really felt like I was on the journey. I loved the characters. I loved the mystery. Yeah. I loved that it was the kind of thing that you could kind of piece together, but not 100%. And there was like the supernatural elements, but like I don't know, just something about it just. I feel like it filled a gap or like scratched an itch that I don't think that
Hit the lamp.
I don't
nothing
think
has done since. So above or below Promised Neverland season 1?
I feel like it's got to be below Promised Neverland season 1, maybe, just because of how fresh we were at that point. But I think it's better than everything else there.
Okay, let me just move everything down.
If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, and then right here.
And I feel like because we watched it at the time that we did, we were having better discussions.
Yeah.
You know, I think if we watched it early, we might not have appreciated it as much, but I feel like we had good discussions. I feel like we were invested. I feel like we had good reactions.
Mm-hmm. True.
Episode 2 of To Be Hero, that should be out.
Tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah.
And we're going away for Easter weekend, so we won't be. We might post some things. I don't know. We'll see. We might post Last of Us while we're away. One Piece. We've just been trying to make sure that will keep going, and then when we come back, we'll be ready to demolish everything and be posting. Like I feel like we've been in this cycle where I'm glad we did the stream, because it feels like back in the day when we were doing streams and it would like reinvigorate us. Is like there was kind of a thing before the stream we were watching One Piece, and I was starting to get, I've built up this routine where like we watch and then we're done, and then I have a little bit of time myself, and then I go to the gym, and then I come home. So I've gotten to that rhythm, and then it was before the stream, and I was just like, okay, we're done. Oh, we're not done. We got to do the stream. And I was like, no, it'll be good. I knew it would be good. We both knew it would be good. Mm-hmm. But then it was like, and now I'm already feeling like it's reinvigorating. So it feels like back in the day when we would do streams, and it would feel kind of the same way. So I want to keep doing them. But recently so I'm glad we did it. But recently we've just been feeling like we week on, week off. It feels like we got into this new pattern where it's better than not posting for like a month or posting one thing a week for like months on end on the main channel. But we're still not quite in the right pocket. Mm-hmm. So maybe this like little break will kick us back into gear, like just like a little vacation, slight, and come back, and we'll hopefully be able to go back. But I feel like I want to keep doing streams like this. Like it would be really fun. Anyway, what's up next?
Yeah. What could we do next? We could do this. Our movie reaction. Hopefully we wanted to do
Hereditary.
a horror movie again last year, but we didn't get around to it. This year it is a priority, because although this video didn't do very good when we posted it, but
it's
like over time,
continuously done good over the last 2 years.
And I feel like it was a good video. Like I think that we had a good reaction to it.
I think that like if we were better at consistency, and if I didn't have to edit any videos and Liz didn't have to do anything, if like we were just on screen talent, so to speak, I think that we could, like this proved to me that like if we couldn't do anime, I would be really sad, because I'm not as passionate about live action or about Western stuff as I am about anime, and I probably wouldn't have as much to say. But we could do it, because I think that this video is genuinely good, and I feel like if we needed to do like movie reactions as our thing, like we could conceivably do movie reactions, because I think
especially
this is a
scary
movie
thing. Reactions, because Carson gets really freaked out.
Yeah. So I think this is either A or S, genuinely, but I don't know where it belongs.
Like, I think it could be S.
What do you guys think? A or high A or low S? Because I don't think it's S. I don't think it's S. I think this reaction might be, like it's hard to say because this is one video compared to a series of videos filmed over the course of weeks.
I guess what I think about it is, like, when you compare it, maybe at first it doesn't feel like S. For me, I think that it's S because I think that we did end up having a somewhat interesting discussion about it, and I think that our reactions to the show, just because of the type of thing that it was, because it was a horror movie, because there was like shocking moments, I think that this was one of
Okay. Oh Jesus! Why did that happen? What? Reconnection successful? Are we back? What the fuck just happened?
We're dying.
Are we getting fucking DDoSed right now? What was that? That was really weird. If it happens again, we might need to take drastic action. We might need to nuke the Pentagon. Okay, Hereditary.
I think S.
I don't. You really think S? You think it's better than ReZero? You think it's better than Oshinoko as far as discussions? I think it's better than Blue Lock Season 2, for sure. Mm-hmm. But like, I think it might be right there. Okay. I don't think that it's on the level of Erased or Apothecary Diary, or maybe it is. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Low S.
Do you guys think it's S or A? Poll time.
I think the thing that is that make it, I think it's just hard to compare it because it's so different. We're doing a poll right now, you guys.
Okay. What do you guys think? Vote. Vote now.
I feel like this one, yeah, it's just hard to rank because, like, with a lot of shows, it's kind of just like, you know, there's lots, it has its ups and its downs, but this is just one thing. So it doesn't really have ups and downs. It's just the way that it is.
So far, A, 74%.
Yeah.
Last chance, everybody. Last chance.
Yeah. A.
A tier. Poll says A tier. I think that's good. I think it's better. I think as far as discussions, as far as reactions, we had a lot of strong reactions, like if you and discussions to it's definitely better than Blue Lock Season 2. I don't think that it's in that life-changing like status or like super reinvigoration in the same way that a lot of the S tier stuff was, but it's close.
Mm-hmm. What else?
It's definitely close.
It's close.
It's close, but it's not
hard
quite.
because it's a movie. Yeah.
Give us a good one. Let's just do this. This is quick.
Yeah. Okay. Sticking with the horror.
Uzumaki. Naruto Uzumaki. This was so we didn't finish it on YouTube, but we did finish watching it.
F. I don't think our reactions were F.
The reactions were not F. But it is hard. Because the show fell off so hard that it was hard. Like, if the show was good, it's one of those things where it's a lot more reliant on the quality of the series. Mm-hmm. And they really dropped the fucking ball with this one. Hardcore. They really dropped the ball. Mm-hmm. I think, we didn't finish it, so I don't think it can go higher than C, but I don't think it deserves C. I think it's probably a D.
Yeah.
Low D. The reaction to the first episode was good. I feel like we loved the first episode. Mm-hmm. The first episode, like, it's a 4-episode series, and the first episode we had a good reaction. It was like a great video. I think, better than Boruto. Better than Boruto Bon.
Yeah.
ReZero Season 2.
I think not better than ReZero Season 2, because I think we only got one good episode of this, whereas I feel like ReZero Season 2, we were invested in the show.
Yeah, sure. Boruto might be below Hell's Paradise as well.
That's fair.
You think? No, we had genuine moments in Boruto.
It's close.
They're close.
But there's a lot of material.
They're completely different reasons, though. I think we talked about that last time. Like, Hell's Paradise, we had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good critique, and it was fun to make fun of it. Boruto, it just stopped being fun in any way past a certain point.
Let's go with House of the Dragon. Get a couple live action.
Hot D Season 1. Season 1 of Hot D. Not Season 2 of Hot D, but Season 1. This...
I feel like we had good reactions for Season 1.
It's just hard because we're not known for live action. So then a lot of people... Like, we react to things different than other live action reactors, I think. So, like, a lot of people who watch these have a different sort of appetite that we don't provide exactly. B tier? Yeah.
I would say B.
I'd say B, but where in B? B's getting pretty full up.
Yeah. I don't think that it's worse than those. I don't think it's better than
like
those.
mid B.
Might have to start expanding to the side.
I think that it's better than Demon Slayer, not as good as Jujutsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, we literally are gonna have to expand. Hopefully this works good and doesn't. Ugh. No! About there. Mm-hmm. Also, look how dark that thumbnail is. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Once you see,
I remember that show in particular being extremely hard because it was
a lot of live
people.
action people use different backgrounds.
Yeah.
For their
stuff. Do you
want
to put some tape on the back to try and straighten it out?
Helps a little bit.
Another one on the top, maybe.
Oh! No, it's okay. Feels like it's gonna fall. Oh, it's because this tape came undone.
Oh.
Wait.
Here, do you want me some of this tape again? Is that okay?
We've got like a whole crazy setup here.
Do you want some of this?
For what?
Just
For
to
that?
help that? Or no?
How?
I don't know.
How will that help? But this might fucking come tumbling down here real quick. We're fine.
If it does, that'll make for a good
It'll
piece
ruin
of action.
everything. Okay, we're starting to go off the fucking grid here.
Mm-hmm. B. It makes sense that B is filling up. But I do like that it is more heavily weighted towards the top than the bottom. I think that that's a good...
What the fuck is Boruto even about? Okay, Hot D Season 2. In my opinion, just the show itself, like an insane step down. It's like a lot of people who really love Hot D just see it as like a dip. To me, it's like, it is such a severe downgrade. I don't want to finish it. I've been spoiled on everything. I've been spoiling everyone I come across. I've been spoiled on pretty much everything that happens in Hot D now. Cause I fucking did not like the direction of the season, the lack of commitment to anything, so much. And I'm glad we stopped where we did. But it's our job literally depends on watching TV. So and this is literally like top 5 favorite series of mine. So maybe top 3 favorite series. I love this shit more than basically anything. Like, it's literally top for me. And it hurts that it's bad, but also like it's such a weird thing to adapt. Mm-hmm. Because the whole point of it is historical ambiguity, and we're removing that entirely. So the entire drama that the book is predicated on is removed. Mm-hmm. So then it's just facts of a situation and archetypes playing out that have already played out in the main series. Mm-hmm. So, and with some different, history going on. But if you change what's left after taking out those elements, which they do, then what are you even left with? You're left with dragons and blonde people fucking, and that's not fun. It's weird.
I think, I don't know, but I'm speaking on just like the series in general, since they are making Dunk and Egg.
Yeah.
This obviously didn't go very good, but I am still holding out hope that Dunk and Egg could be good because, and I think that like what you're talking about, the historical ambiguity, it can be solved a little bit by something like Dunk and Egg if they don't take it too expansive, because it is from the perspective of one guy. Yeah. So if whoever's making it, whoever's directing, can understand that they need to stay within the parameters of like what this you know what I mean, or I feel like that.
I didn't spoil anything. Did I spoil anything with what I said?
No, I think it was just because you were joking that you were spoiling everyone.
Sorry, finish what you're saying.
So I'm saying that Game of Thrones really fell off. This fell off. I'm hoping Dunk and Egg doesn't fall off, but I don't have a ton of hope for it. But because it is so incredibly different than Game of Thrones, just in terms of like the source material, mm-hmm. Dunk and Egg is way more suited to like a movie or a TV show.
That's
than
the problem.
Even Game of Thrones ever was.
Is it suited only to a movie?
Yeah.
That's what they should. That's like they've been talking about making a Game of Thrones movie ever since like season 5 or 6 of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
The first Dunk and Egg book, which is another Song of Ice and Fire series backstory thing. It takes place in the timeline between where Game of Thrones took place and where House of the Dragon takes place. So it's like 180 or maybe 80 something years before the main. Or maybe longer. 100 something years? Something like that. Anyway. It's first person perspective, basically.
Yeah.
And, dumb guy, he's a knight, and he is just the really best guy. And that's the thing, is it's a simpler perspective to sell to people. And it's a simpler perspective for single-minded Hollywood producers to wrap their fucking head around of how to sell it and how to, adapt it. Because it's not as complicated as something like House of the Dragon, which is on levels of, like, complication. Like, as far as, like, nuanced characters and story and, like, more nuanced themes, even, I'd say, of, like, it's not, like, as far as, everybody in House of the Dragon is fucking bad, but they need people to be good because of modern sensibilities that people need to have somebody to root for. They need to be able to sell that. Like, it's all wrapped up in all this bullshit. Dunk and Egg has a lot more potential, but I don't think it has potential for a fucking 10 episode series on the course of like 2 days. From the perspective of one guy. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna start adding so much shit to Aerion, to fucking Baelor Breakspear, to all these motherfuckers. They're gonna add perspective, like change to their perspective, show what they were doing before the events of the book, show maybe probably what they're doing a little bit after the events of the book. A bunch of flashbacks, like we're probably gonna get 2 or 3 episodes of flashbacks of when Dunk was with Sir Arlen, and like it's gonna be. I think if it is 10 episodes, I might be crazy. Maybe it's actually only 3. Or maybe 10 episodes is going to be all of it. If 10 episodes was all of it, that would be good. 3 episodes for each book, because there's 3 books right now. Short, like, novellas. That's what we need. Anyway, sorry. I'm excited about it because it looks like it could be good, but, like, it's third time's the charm. Like, what are we doing here? Anyway.
Yeah.
And this is recoverable, House of the Dragon. It's still recoverable, but I don't think they will because of what they're committing to and what they have committed to already, and they don't seem to want to change it. Like, they stumbled in season 1 with episode 9, and then they fucking crashed and burned because of the writer's strike, whatever you want to say. The perspective that they're taking towards it is different than what it needs to be. It's I don't think at some point it's not even about the writer's strike or whatever shit was going on in there. At some point it's not about that. It's about their perspective as storytellers. Okay. I wish you went while I was doing that rant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can pick where it goes. I don't really care where it goes.
Oh, wow. Guys, Lindsay doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's just gonna let me do it. What are we doing? What do you guys think? What do you guys think for season 2? I think E or D. Red Kingdom? No. I've always wanted to read Kingdom. I just never did. D tier? Yeah. Yeah, D tier. I think D or E? What do you guys think? D or E? I'm seeing more E's. Is that were these, for those who've seen our JoJo react, like think about what's in E. We got Demon Slayer season 1, which was half timers, and we didn't like it. JoJo Part 3, which is like 60 fucking episodes of us saying nothing, and 3 to 5 episodes of us laughing and like being hyped up. One Punch Man, 1 good episode reaction. The rest Lindsay did not find interesting. You know, is it in that category? I don't think it is. I think it's probably D. I think it's probably bottom D. Stardust Crusaders as a show is better, obviously. But, you know, anyway. Yeah, E is when we start getting bad, but there's something redeemable about it. Like, that's what E is. F is just bad. Don't waste your time. In that case, maybe Bunny Girl shouldn't even be that low. I feel like we had decent discussions, or funny conversations
Yeah.
in Bunny Girl. Maybe that should be an E.
Bunny Girl could be E.
Bunny Girl, I think Bunny Girl belongs in E. I think
you hated it, so it makes you want to put it in F.
Yeah, I think that's
But
where
I don't
it
think
belongs.
it's objectively worse. Like, I don't think it belongs with these.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is genuinely bad. This is almost entirely bad, but there's something redeeming about it. This is not even close to our best work, but there's something about it maybe worth checking out if you want. This is decent. This is good. This is one of our best. This is the best, yeah. Okay, next.
Haven't seen this channel since 2021. Glad to be back. Welcome back.
War Eye. Welcome back.
Should we get our... Let's finish up with the live actions here.
Last of Us Season 1.
We
Season
will
2
be doing
reactions.
Season 2 as soon as we can.
Yes. Last of Us Season 1. I feel like this is among some of our best.
I don't know if it's S.
No, it's not S.
I think it's definitely
It's
a
not S.
solid A.
It's definitely not S. Better than Horimiya. Better than Blue Lock Season 2. Better than Hereditary. I liked the show more than Hereditary. Obviously, but B? I feel like it's better than B.
Whoa.
B. You guys are saying B.
Wow.
Really? For video quality, not for the series again. Did you guys watch all of our reactions to these? The stream? We did do the stream last week. We're finishing it today. Hopefully we can finish it. Oh yeah, we gotta finish it soon.
Some eps were boring. Well, it doesn't matter if the
Some
episode was boring.
Yeah. Some eps were boring. Some of our reactions were boring. But I think like or so, like some
The Last of Us.
I think episode by episode we had something to say every episode pretty much. I think maybe episode 5 was probably the least.
I think that we had a different perspective because you knew about the game, I didn't know about the game. So I feel like we were able to have some discussions about that.
Yeah. I think the sentiment is more on the show that not the reaction, no matter how much we try to separate. Yeah, I think the show belongs in A, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, low A. I think mid A.
I think mid A.
Better than Ranking of Kings. Oh, well? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I think better than Ranking of Kings. Ranking of Kings is going to be bottom A no matter what.
Above Demon Slayer.
Above Demon Slayer, you think?
Below Blue Lock, above...
A is a stretch?
Really?
I don't think A is a stretch for this.
Did you
we
watch
had good reactions.
Videos? I think that we had good videos, unless we're crazy.
We cried. Did we cry a single time in fucking...
Any of those other shows?
I mean, yeah, we did. No, we did. Did we cry a single time in Blue Lock? Did we cry a single time in Hereditary? No, it's like... I guess those aren't like supposed to be sad, I guess. But
I feel like I really liked this show. But
I think the dialogue surrounding the show is so poisoned that I don't have too many fond memories. Yeah, I think you guys are fucking crazy. I think that it belongs in A.
I think that I loved the show, and I think that we had a good reaction to the show.
We're not talking about whether you like Bella Ramsey or whatever the fuck people are talking about these days. So, but is it better than Demon Slayer reactions? Maybe? I think so.
I liked it more, and I think that...
Let's put that right there.
I would think it belongs there, too. I think that we weren't nearly as entertaining as in Blue Lock Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we had decent discussions. We were invested in the show. We were, like, visibly reacting to the show. You know? Like, I don't know. I feel like they were solid.
Yeah. I think there's, like, a lot of talk right now about people not liking... Anyway, I don't want to spoil you on the fucking Last of Us, so let's just move on. Because I'm spoiled on a little bit of I haven't seen Last of Us Season 2, but I know some of the events of this season, and I know that some people are upset. But I don't want to talk about that because Lindsay doesn't know anything.
Should we go into this?
Yeah, why not? Sure, it's a live action.
Yeah, I was thinking we'll do this. What a bunch of people have probably been waiting for.
One Piece live action Netflix edition. I think these also belong in A.
Yeah.
I think we had great reactions to it. We had decent discussions. We were being exposed to a completely new world. Everyone was very excited around this time.
Especially since we didn't even know, like, we waited on One Piece for so long because we didn't even know if we would like One Piece, and that's why we watched the live action, because we were like, we don't want to, once we start One Piece, you can't not, either you commit to it and you watch the entire thing, or you start it and then cripple your entire reputation as a reactor if you don't like it.
Yeah, so we needed to be in the right place, and we were.
Yes, and that's why the live action was perfect, because I feel like it gave us a taste of the show and made us excited, so that when we started this, there was a lot of slow stuff, especially at the beginning. I think that we would have had worse reactions to this if we didn't love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think better than Ranking of Kings, better than Demon Slayer. I don't think it's better than Demon Slayer. I don't think it's better than Horimiya reactions.
Really?
Better than Last of Us? For One Piece live action?
I thought that we had a great reaction to the One Piece.
What are you thinking about in particular? Are you thinking about a particular moment? Are you thinking about the videos themselves? Or are you just thinking about how much you liked the show and your life at that time? Because I'm thinking about the videos, and I think the videos were good. But I don't think we had a better reaction to it than moments in Demon Slayer Season 2, or moments in Demon Slayer Season 3, or Horimiya, or discussions like in moments like The Last of Us. I think it's better, you know, I think it belongs right here where Ranking of Kings is. That's where I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you brothers? Yes. Okay. Are we doing this now?
Yeah, we might as well. One
Piece. The show, not separating into arc. I thought you were going to separate it all into arcs. Or we were going to save that for another stream.
We're going to do like this again, but on the One Piece channel.
Yeah. And talk about our reactions per arc, maybe.
This might be the hardest thing to rank, because it is the longest.
Yeah, the longest series we've done aside from Naruto.
But Naruto has Naruto and Shippuden, so they're like that has.
It's about neck and neck right now.
Yeah.
It was about neck and neck as far as episode count, because we skipped a lot of Naruto. So it was around 500 videos or something like that. And we're in the 500s for One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you were like, this is where you got to take the aggregate of the whole thing. I genuinely think amongst our body of work, One Piece reactions are an S tier. Genuinely. I know that's a hot take, especially if you haven't watched the series as it progresses. But this has merit, I think. Like, it's the same reason why... So the reason why BOLDcast, I wanted to do reactions is because Naruto, as a series, is not you could be forgiven for not liking it. It's like I wanted to document Lindsay's experience with something that I loved. So I was not only showing it to her, but documenting, and you get to see, like, if you watch through all the old Naruto reactions from early part 1 to midway through to the end of Shippuden, you get to see how, it's like a long, that's the benefit of a long-running reactions. You see how people's opinions evolve and change, what they think about it, and how they feel about it. You can see it in their eyes. It's like a valuable thing that you can't get back. And I think that we're achieving a similar thing with One Piece, where many times, many episodes, I didn't want to watch it because I wasn't having fun. However, if you take as far as like a project of chronicling somebody's review and ongoing evolving opinion, and with genuinely emotional moments, I've cried in One Piece, I've cheered in One Piece, I've thought about it a lot, we've talked about it for dozens, if not hundreds of hours at this point. I think this belongs in S. Now, where does it belong in S? I don't know where it belongs in S, because I feel like it's not the best series we've ever done, if you're talking about a series. But it's also so much longer that it's genuinely hard to compare.
And, like, for example, everything else that is in the S tier, part of the reason that's in the S tier is that it didn't have any of the low points that we have had with One Piece. None of those had a series of bad reactions, and I don't think I think it was good that we waited a long time to watch One Piece, because I don't think that we have any truly terrible reactions. I think that we were at the point that even if we didn't like it, we were able to articulate exactly what it was about
in a reasonable amount of time and without
tact. Just like hating on it, just trying to just genuinely be like, I don't really like this because of XYZ, and I wish that they did that instead, or something.
I think the value of our One Piece reactions as an overall series, like with that evolving thing that I was talking about, I think it puts it in a similar category of like theorizing and talking about and like analysis as like Apothecary Season 1. So probably in that range. However, again, the length and the depth that we have delved into the series, and I think like the amount of value, I genuinely feel like we have added to the conversation, especially if you're comparing it to like other, I'm assuming like a lot of One Piece reactions, where with any long running shonen, it's a lot of times people just react to it and it's just about seeing the visceral reaction. I think that we've genuinely added a lot of value. If you watch our reactions to it, I'm decently proud of the fact that even if you don't agree with what we're saying all the time, if you as a One Piece fan with all of your endless time on your hands decided to watch all of our One Piece reactions, you would come out of the other side of it with I think, if you had an open mind, a genuinely deeper appreciation for the series that you already love. So I'm proud to say that. So I think that it would probably be around there. No, above Apothecary, I said.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. Like, we're theorizing it about as much, but because of that aspect of it, this documentation aspect of it, I think that it puts it above Apothecary. Run with the Wind. I would put it above Run with the Wind. I think you would struggle, but I would put it above there.
No, I think we can put it above Run with the Wind.
I think I would even put it above Hidden Inventory. I wouldn't put it above Jujutsu Season 2.
No. And I wouldn't put it above
not Vinland Saga, not Province Neverland, not maybe in Heavenly Delusion, but I'll say to split the difference, I'd say put it right there. In 5th place, I'd say. We haven't talked about Hunter x Hunter yet.
For clarification, the tier list is based on our reaction, our video, the quality of the video that we put out, not the show itself.
Yeah. It's about, if you were to go back and watch our old series, our old reaction series, which ones basically should you watch, or are worth watching, or are our best or worst, or whatever.
And for many reasons, we take a lot of things into account.
Yeah, they're all right. Thanks, Bob, Mike, Joe. What high praise from you.
Bob McJoe's like, I've had to watch every single one. I fucking
He's like, I beg to differ. I'm the only one who knows how bad they really are. And that's the other thing too. If we're talking about the videos, they're edited by Bob Mike Joe, so it's like a higher quality edit and more consistent level of quality than say something like our Demon Slayer, which was our Demon Slayer Season 1, which we put so low because they were edited so poorly and were like bad watching experience. The watching experience of One Piece, it varied. Like there was a period of time where we had to turn down the volume because we were getting claimed all the time for random bullshit. Or I forget if we got a strike. Did we get a strike?
On which one?
On One Piece?
No, I don't think we got a strike on One Piece.
No, maybe we were getting claimed a bunch of times in a row. I forget. Let me refresh this real quick. It's falling behind a little bit. You personally watch One Piece reactions over Heavenly Delusion? Yeah, I feel like you get into muddy waters, and like
it's just,
I think because it's just so much longer and we've talked about One Piece so much more, and I feel like when I talk about like adding value, it's like we've added so much over because it's the volume, it's pure volume, so it's like it's harder to compare. It's the same reason why it's weird to put Hereditary there in A tier right here, because it's a movie where the rest of them are series. It's just kind of weird. So like I think you could put it higher even. You could put it maybe even above Promised Neverland Season 1. But that's I think in cases like that it becomes really subjective, but I think I'm comfortable with it being there. I could put it above Heavenly Delusion, but I think Heavenly Delusion made such an impact on our channel.
Yeah.
And just like an evolution.
So solidly S.
Yeah.
Whereas One Piece overall is an S, but had moments of lower So I'm happy with their... Yeah, I think it maybe could go above. A lot of people probably think that it should. But I feel like this is a good example.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole list is subjective. That's, yeah. Definitely
No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go for Code Geass. This is, R1.
Code Geass R1, or Season 1. The first 2 cores, 24 episodes, or 26 episodes, or whatever it is, of Code Geass. A show that I liked way more before reacting to it. I was way more comfortable loving the show before watching it. Lindsay didn't love it as much as I thought she would, but we also watched this. Is your hair red here? Yeah. We also watched this at like a rough time. It was in a rough period.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to put this one, because like some videos reactions were good, some were, I think, but it's another one of those things. Honestly, it's kind of similar to part 3 of JoJo, where it's just, I've seen it, I love it. Yeah. Lindsay is kind of mid on it and doesn't
also
give
just having a bad time.
Also just in a bad place in our lives. So then Lindsay is, I feel like it kind of reverted back to that kind of a thing. Not, like just because you weren't as open to it. There was
definitely some moments that I really liked, like and what? I really got invested. I feel like
Spoilers.
I guess most of that was maybe in R2, like with Rolo.
Right.
Moments with Shirley at some points, and even some stuff with Suzaku. Like, I don't know, there was moments that I think that I really liked, but then there's also moments like a certain thing with Yuffie where I feel like I was restricting myself on the reaction. I got super upset about that. But just because of, like, I feel like I was just not very open in, like, reacting.
Vulnerable, yeah.
I felt like I had to, like, keep it in and then, like, broke down about it later.
Yeah.
Rather than expressing that in the reaction, which then makes a worse reaction because I'm, like, forcibly trying to not react to something, even though...
Yeah, that was a big part of a decent portion of it, is that it was almost like you were trying not to react to it.
Yeah.
And on some, like, here's where it gets kind of meta. It's like, on some level, it's like I was talking about documenting, like, our One Piece or our Naruto reactions. It's like, part of reacting to something doesn't mean that you're going to have positive reactions to everything. It doesn't mean that you're going to like everything. The idea of documenting your reaction to something, it just means, like, you're still reacting to it, even if you don't react to it very much. It's a very fine, weird line in terms of content creation, like, how much do you need to, like, emote in order for it to be considered a reaction? Because, what is it, like, 90% of human conversation or dialogue or expression is nonverbal, so it's like, you can tell what people feel, and just because they aren't feeling the same things you feel, does that mean that it's not worthy to be a video? Like, on some level, if the objective is to display somebody's genuine reaction, then that's a far wider scope, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily a good video to watch. I don't know. When you get really heady about it, it can be a more interesting conversation. But when it comes down to it, if you aren't having fun, or you're really depressed or anxious or stressed out or just not in a good place for something, and the point is to enjoy something, and you aren't ready to do that.
Or feel whatever you need to feel about the show.
Yeah.
But not be distracted by other things.
Yeah.
And also, if you don't like it, be able to talk about it in a civilized manner, which I also feel like I've had a hard time articulating why I maybe didn't like things in this show.
Blue Lock isn't an S, it's an A.
No, they're saying that they want Blue Lock to be an S.
Oh, obviously. Where?
I don't know. You think D?
I think D. And it sucks because I feel like we could have. I feel like if we watched, it's one of those things. If we watched it at the right time, I think you would have liked it a lot more. But it's just so much. I remember editing it, and I'm just like cutting out and cutting out and cutting out. I'm just like, okay, anything, no. anything, and is just,
Here's the thing. You don't need to be positive on the show to make videos good, but I think you have to be positive in your life to an extent.
Yeah.
And that's what something like this comes down to.
Even if you're negative in the video, if you're positive outside of it.
And that's why One Piece is up so high, because there are points that we were negative about the show, but during the time that we've been watching One Piece has been a way better time in our life, and we've been way more fulfilled outside of the channel, to the point that when we are not having fun with the show, it doesn't completely derail our entire existence.
And we can still enjoy it for what it is without letting that get to us, you know? Like, even if we're not at, like, the best point, you know?
But something like this, I was just not in the right headspace to be watching this show. Like, I think that, you know, I still maybe would have not... This maybe still wouldn't have been my favorite show of all time, but I would have enjoyed it a lot more, you know?
Yeah. I think this belongs... well... C. I think...
A low C.
Low C for this, maybe higher...
than those.
Yeah.
Do we want to do part 2 at the same time?
Yes. Where do you want this? For R2 of Code Geass. I think you had a better reaction to R2, but how much better?
But not that much better.
How much better, exactly? Better than Beastars. Maybe? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not better than part 1.
Better than part 1.
Better than part 1?
Better videos than part 1.
I don't think better than Gleipnir.
I think better than Gleipnir.
Oh.
It might be top C or low B.
Well, I guess when you factor in something like that...
Cyberpunk, we're also counting the discussions where we had a lot more to say.
Yeah.
I think top C for this.
Top C? Alright.
C2 tier. C2! What are you doing? What are you doing?
It got kind of messed up. That goes there.
See, just let me do it.
Okay,
just let me do it.
Here, give me that. I'll put that at the front.
I don't trust. Just hold that for a second.
No. I'll put it next. See? That's even better than you put that.
Okay, now I need to go to the bathroom, so you entertain them.
Alright. What's everyone talking about over here? Classics are going to underperform compared to modern trending series. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Some stuff I feel like does good, some stuff does bad. But that's kind of irrelevant to the tier list in a way, because it's like, you know, it's just based on the quality of stuff that we were putting out. Will you guys keep playing until dawn? Hopefully at some point. How many do you have left? A decent amount. I'm not sure how long we've been going. We've been going for 2 hours. There's still a lot left. And I don't... People are saying Chainsaw Man. I think I might have accidentally forgotten to get Chainsaw Man. Gintama propaganda, let's keep it going, please. We always want to watch Gintama. Or, like, especially Carson has been really, really, really wanting to watch Gintama since the start of the channel. It's just so... With something that has so many episodes and is so long, and probably wouldn't do good as videos, for the most part, it's like, it's so hard to be able to commit to something like that confidently. And for something like Gintama, because we just would know that it would take so much of our time for probably not very much return. Yeah. Which doesn't mean that it's not worth doing, but we wouldn't want to take up all of our time doing that and then, like, let seasonals or, like, other more shows that we might like just as much, maybe not as much, but, you know, it's always kind of a balancing act of what we're gonna watch when, and especially now that we have the One Piece channel, that's like just a whole other thing that we have to watch so many videos for, and we're really trying to, like, we've put a lot into the One Piece channel, and then our main channel really suffered, so now we're trying to, like, boost back up our main channel, so it's like we can't have 2 channels that are putting out multiple videos a day. That's just, you know, we can have 2 channels that are
putting out one video.
One video, or like One Piece is one every 2 days, but that's basically a video. You know, it's an episode a day. So it's like we could maybe do 2 episodes a day, but we can't do 3 every day. It's too much. So a lot of these like longer, especially older series, it's kind of like either maybe like for Patreon, like only a couple at a time, but then we still have to watch it, and it's still, you know, how it still takes 25 minutes to watch if there's any discussion. So more like half hour to an hour, depending on it. So
and routinely we'll go for 40 minutes to an hour.
That doesn't include editing or like doing anything else. So
even without editing, like I've noticed, like even without editing, doing the uncut, because I need to do the uncuts and then I send it off to Bob, Mike, Joe. So I need to like upload it. We need to manage everything. I know it's like I'm not trying to whine about it. That's not the point. It's just that things like genuinely take time, and they genuinely take a little bit of effort, even if they're really easy, low effort jobs like the one that we have.
There's only a certain number of hours in the day.
Especially if you want to, you know, do other things with your life, which we have been doing. If this was 2020, it would be a completely different story, you know. But we have other things going on in our life these days, so it's, you know, we definitely could be better. Even still, we'd probably be like 3 times better, honestly. But for us personally, we've noticed if we push ourselves too hard, everything is fucked. It just gets fucked, and which is not worth it. Especially when, you know, if we want things, like say we burn ourselves out too hard one time, and then I don't feel like watching One Piece. And there have been a couple times like that where I'm just like, you know what? I don't fucking want to watch this anymore. I'm tired of people, like, you know, not listening to what I have to say, or not taking what I have to say. You know, like, not just not listening, but, like, I say something super innocuous and they just jump down my fucking throat about it. Like, maybe I just don't want to fucking deal with that anymore. And fuck you, basically. If we're burnt out, that's more likely to happen. Something like that. Because you just get fed up over time. So other people in our shoes could be way more successful than us and way more, like, good at our job than we are. I don't think we're terrible at our job. I think we're actually pretty good when we're good. But in order to stay good, we have to we have to give ourselves some leeway. And I wish that we could be a little bit more cutthroat and just be like way more efficient. But part of efficiency is giving yourself rest. Even if it's not about, even if the job is super easy. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is like fucking backbreaking work. It's not at all. But like when it's about, when your emotional state, we can't just show up to work every day and just say, I need to work today, so I'm just gonna phone it in. If we phone in too many episodes of One Piece reactions, then people will see it, and then we will just die naturally, you know. So it's not even like, oh, I need to rest my weary bones.
Like, we could just be like, all right, I fucking...
Even that is draining.
It's exhausting.
Even that is draining. Yeah. That will drain you over time. It's like if you're living a fucking lie. This isn't to complain or like whine about it. It's just what I'm saying.
Explanation of why we aren't.
It comes down to like the facts of the situation. It's just like we just aren't the type of people like that where we can do that. It's just, like we can try, and we've tried, we burned ourselves out a million times. And it's just something you have to manage. You have to figure out what you can handle and what you want and what your goals are. And that's with anything.
And what's gonna help you achieve that, and what kind of how many different kind of shows, and what categories do they need to fill in order for us to feel really satisfied with our workload? What different types of shows, especially earlier on, we were like, oh, we don't want to watch too many shonens at once, because then you just are watching like multiple renditions of a very similar story. So you want that variety. You want some that have action, some that maybe have good animation, some that have more subtle but really compelling stories, some that have something to theorize about, something that are funny. Picking what things that you're watching in conjunction with other things actually really kind of matters a lot in order to just in terms of productivity. Like you want something when you're like, okay, this story is maybe a little bit slow right now, but I know that this other show we're watching is really fast. Let's watch an episode of that to, like, you know, get in the zone.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I think you want to end it here, and then we could do a part 3. I think if we go any further, there won't be enough for a full-on part 3, but there's just enough, it seems like, where if we do a part 3, we could get through all this pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll leave. How about this? We'll leave. Yeah, there's bangers too. We got Attack on Titan. We got Dungeon Meshi. We got Free Ren.
Angel Beats, Haikyuu.
We got Kaguya. We got a bunch of bangers, and I feel like an Arcane and like Naruto. Solo Leveling. Yeah, bunch of stuff. Fruits Basket. There's so many things to get to. Like there's enough. Like there might even be less than we did this time. Tokyo Revengers.
There's going to be a lot to talk about.
The next stream is going to be, want to leave a banger at the end. I feel like leaving it right here is good, because then the next one will be all bangers.
Yeah.
And I feel like we got through a lot of the stinkers this time. Even though they ended up being, like, thinking about it, like, I thought there would be, it feels like we might need to re-look at some of this, because it feels way too heavily weighted towards the top. I'm being too self-critical, but I feel like maybe it's a bit... Like, when I look at every individual one, I'm like, yeah, that's about there. That deserves this tier. That deserves that tier. But when I look at all of it, when I look at the distribution, I'm like, is it self-fucking-aggrandizing to weight it that heavily towards the top? Or are we just really fucking good reactors? Like, you know? Sorry, Blue Lock's too high up. It might be. Maybe we'll, at the end, we'll do, we
have less for next time, so maybe we'll do a...
Because there's so many bangers here, it's gonna be weighted even heavier. Yeah. But, like, genuinely...
Most of these are gonna be, like, here and up.
I feel like maybe we have too high of an opinion of ourselves. You know?
But I feel like when we go through them...
when you look at every little one, yeah.
We're critical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, some of them could maybe go lower. Like, all of these could maybe go down to there. But then it seems like, are these F? You know?
Maybe.
Maybe
but
they're high F?
Maybe they're high F. But, like, it's
but
hard.
Then it's like with the
again, but, like, if you look at every little one, it's like One Punch Man. It's like, that could be F. But, again, like, if you go through the reasoning, and we have for every little one, it makes sense. But it just feels weird. It feels like, how good of a job did we did? Well, fucking 70% of our videos belong in the higher percentile, and only a small few, many of which are like 2 video series. You know, like, it just feels like, it feels not right when you look at the whole picture. It feels like we're being a little bit, patting ourselves on the back a little bit too hard.
Maybe there could be something to be said for combining the D and E categories.
Yeah.
And then moving some of these down to here.
Yeah.
Because I think that, like, this could split, and, like, these could come
there might even be some shuffling in this kind of area down a bit. But I think the A and S tier are genuinely, they belong there, I think.
But
maybe a couple things. Like, maybe Horimiya could be a high B if this was all weighted differently. Yeah. Something like that, you know what I mean? I feel, we'll get to it. We'll, I don't know. I feel like we'll get to it. But I feel like, anyway.
Yeah, the heavy hitters in the next stream.
Yes.
We may change some things, and then we may, at the end, because a lot of these are series as well, because there's Haikyuu, Mob Psycho, Avatar. There's, like, a lot of them will probably go in similar places, and then we can move things around.
That's what you need. Oh, shit. Nikos Platanakis, $2 super chat. Love your reactions. Greeting from Greece. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priactos, as well, for the donations. Mm-hmm. Multiple? Was there multiple?
There was someone, was it him again? Yeah, he did too, and then someone else. There was another one that, like, flashed off the screen in, like, 1 second that I got up to try and read.
Sorry, thank you for the donations, everybody. Sorry about that. Maybe I need to sign in to fucking Streamlabs so I can see those while we're streaming next time. You guys are my second favorite purple and white anime YouTube channel. Who the fuck is the first?
Get out of here.
Are you talking about a React pack? Who else is purple? They're pink. We're more pink than purple.
I'm purple.
Is the React back, brother?
Invincible among the heavy hitters. Invincible just kind of is still there. I don't know that it's among the heavy hitters.
You know.
We need something to spice up the next.
Oh, trash taste.
We need something to spice up the solo leveling and Invincible are kind of there to, and Fruits Basket are there to spice up the next video. So don't worry if you want something that Carson needs to rant about.
Yeah, no, there will be plenty of rants next stream. So I think, we got to end that there. Fan letter will be going to the is on Uncuts right now. Will be $5 Patreon within the next couple days. And then we'll be on YouTube sometime late next week, I think. So time next week.
Trash Taste.
Yeah, Trash Taste. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. I thought we could get through all of it, but honestly, I feel like the 3-parter will go hard because the next one, I think there's actually less cards than we went through today. Mm-hmm. Maybe slightly, or maybe around the same.
Around the same.
We could get through it all.
A lot of these are series, so those tend to go a little bit faster. Yeah,
that's true. There's like multiple for Haikyuu and everything. Okay. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next week. See you guys for more stuff. If you celebrate Easter, have a good Easter. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Much love.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.